Now, I need you to understand the long-term consequences of neglecting stress. This isn't just about feeling anxious for a few hours or a stressful week at work. I'm talking about chronic, ongoing stress, something that lingers for months, years, even decades. Left unchecked, stress changes your brain in ways you can't undo. The hippocampus, which is responsible for storing memories, can shrink. Your prefrontal cortex, which helps with decision-making, can lose its edge. Imagine this. You've been living with chronic stress for years, and now, when you need to make an important decision, you find yourself frozen. When you're trying to remember an important event or conversation, it's a blur. Stress has slowly eroded your ability to function at your best, and now you're paying the price. This is the silent thief of potential. It doesn't shout, it doesn't make a big noise, but over time it steals your clarity, your focus, and your sharpness. And it's all happening without you realizing it. Left untreated, this damage doesn't just fade away. It can leave you struggling to do the things that were once easy, like remembering important details, staying focused, or handling your emotions. That's why I'm here to tell you this. Stress is not something you can just shrug off. If you don't control it, it will control you. The longer you let it build, the harder it will be to reverse. But here's the good news. It's not too late to take control. You can fight back, you can manage your stress, rewire your brain, and reclaim your mental power, but it's going to take awareness, commitment, and action. Don't let stress define your life. Don't let it rob you of your clarity and your strength. It's time to take a stand. It's time to stop letting this silent force control your future. You've got the power to change. The everyday battle, how chronic stress sneaks into your life, a constant companion. Stress in modern life. We live in a world where stress is no longer just an occasional guest that knocks at the door. It's become a constant companion, always hovering in the background, ready to creep into every corner of our lives. Think about your day. How many times do you feel a pit in your stomach because of work, deadlines, relationships, or just the weight of expectations? These aren't isolated instances. They build up, they stack on top of one another, and before you know it, you're living in a chronic state of stress that's hard to shake. We wake up to an alarm, rush through the morning routine, deal with endless emails, demanding tasks and obligations, and by the time we lay down at night, the stress still lingers. It's not something that goes away. It follows you, shadows you, and before you know it, you've forgotten what peace feels like. And the worst part, it becomes so normal that we don't even notice it's happening anymore. Work, relationships, personal goals. The triple threat: work, relationships, and personal goals. These are the three main pillars of stress. And while each one on its own can create a storm, together they form an overwhelming hurricane. At work, you feel the constant pressure to perform, meet deadlines, and prove your worth. In your relationships, there's the expectation to show up, be present, and maintain balance, whether that's with a partner, friends, or family. And then there's the pressure of your own goals, your dreams, the need to be better, to do more, to never stop moving. You're in a constant race, a race you can't seem to finish, because as soon as you reach one milestone, another appears. You're constantly trying to catch up, always feeling like you're behind, like you're drowning in a sea of responsibilities. It's exhausting. The hidden costs, mental, emotional, and fixture. When stress becomes a permanent fixture, it starts to take a toll. Mentally, you begin to lose clarity. You're foggy, forgetful, distracted. How many times have you forgotten a simple task or struggled to remember something important because your mind is overwhelmed? Emotionally, stress can push you to the edge. Anxiety, frustration, irritability. These emotions become your norm, and the physical consequences are even worse. Sleepless nights, constant fatigue, even physical illnesses. Stress can manifest in ways you don't even realize. The more you let stress consume you, the more it drains every ounce of energy from your body and mind. And the longer you ignore it, the harder it becomes to break free from its grip. Stress as the silent brain killer. The impact on memory and creativity. Memory decline, the first casualty of chronic stress. Let me ask you this: how often do you find yourself forgetting things? Little things, big things. Your mind is foggy, isn't it? And that's because chronic stress attacks your brain's ability to store and recall information. The hippocampus, the part of your brain that handles memory, becomes less efficient under stress. What happens next? Names slip through your fingers, appointments are missed, you struggle to focus and recall important facts. It's more than just inconvenience. Over time, this memory loss can impact both your personal life and your career. Imagine constantly missing deadlines or forgetting crucial details in your relationships. It starts small, but the consequences grow, and eventually it can be a real obstacle to your success. Killing creativity, a silent strangler of ideas. And it's not just your memory. Stress kills your creativity. Think about it. When you're stressed, can you find new solutions to problems? Can you think outside the box? No, you can't. Stress narrows your focus. It consumes your mental bandwidth, leaving you with no room for creative thinking. All your mental energy goes into trying to survive, to manage the anxiety, to get through the day. But here's the problem. Creativity is the fuel for growth. When stress steals that fuel, you stop moving forward, you get stuck. And stuck people don't grow, they don't create, they don't innovate, they just survive. Decision-making breakdowns, stress destroys clarity. Let's talk about decision-making. How many times have you been faced with a choice and felt completely frozen by stress? Stress messes with your prefrontal cortex, the part of your brain that helps you make decisions. You second-guess yourself, you overanalyze, you freeze when it's time to take action. The more stress you accumulate, the worse your decision-making becomes. You make impulsive choices, you make poor choices, and this only makes the stress worse, creating a vicious cycle of anxiety and poor decisions that continue to spiral out of control. 8 ways you're slowly killing your brain. Tony Robbins' motivation. Now, let's talk about something that can change your life completely: emotional resilience. A healthy brain is the key to a healthier emotional life. Think about this. When your brain is functioning at its best, you become more emotionally resilient. Life's challenges don't overwhelm you. The curveballs that are thrown your way, they don't knock you down for long. Instead, you're able to bounce back. You're able to adapt, stay calm, and make clear decisions even in the toughest of times. Why? Because a brain that is strong doesn't just handle stress better, it turns stress into growth. When your brain is optimized, your emotions become more stable. You'll be better equipped to respond to life's challenges rather than react to them. You won't let frustration control you. You won't let fear hold you back. You see, emotional resilience doesn't come from avoiding hardship. It comes from developing the mental strength to endure it, learn from it, and rise above it. And when you make your brain stronger, you make yourself more capable of doing exactly that. The mental edge in life and career. Here's the truth. Your brain is the engine that powers everything you do. So why not make it the best engine possible? Optimizing your brain isn't just going to improve your personal life. It's going to take your career to places you never thought possible. Think about high achievers. Think about leaders, entrepreneurs, top performers. The difference between the average and the extraordinary, it's often a sharp, focused, and resilient mind. When you invest in brain health, you get a mental edge. It's the ability to make decisions quicker, solve problems with ease, and think strategically at every turn. If you're a student, that mental edge will help you learn faster and retain more. If you're an entrepreneur, it'll allow you to innovate, think critically, and make the moves that set you apart. And if you're a leader, it will sharpen your judgment and your ability to inspire others. The point is this: the stronger your brain, the stronger your ability to perform. Your mind is your most valuable asset. Optimize it and watch how everything else falls into place. Your career, your opportunities, your success, realizing your full potential. And now we arrive at the most powerful reason why brain health matters: unlocking your full potential. Every single one of us has untapped potential lying inside of us. We have dreams, goals, desires, things we want to achieve. But let me tell you, your potential is directly tied to the health of your brain. When you take care of your brain, you're unlocking a new level of yourself. Your mind becomes a tool that works with you, not against you. You'll be able to tap into creative solutions that were once out of reach. You'll be able to perform at your highest level, whether in your career, your personal relationships, or your health. The truth is, when your brain is functioning at its peak, you become a different person. You perform at a level that exceeds your expectations. You stop holding back, you start taking risks, creating opportunities, and pushing yourself toward greatness. Because that's what this is all about. The more you nurture your brain, the more you get out of life, your highest, most fulfilled self, it's waiting for you. And the key to unlocking that self is your brain. Protect it, optimize it, and watch yourself rise to heights you never thought possible. This is your time, your mind, your potential. Go make it happen. Conclusion, start protecting your brain today. A call to action, time to change. Let me tell you something, your brain is your most valuable asset. It's the engine behind everything you do, the force that powers your dreams, your decisions, your success. Yet so many of us neglect it. We allow distractions, bad habits, and stress to chip away at its potential day by day. But here's the good news. It's not too late. It's never too late. It's time to take control. The habits that have been draining your brain's power, they can be undone. It won't be easy, but I promise you it's possible. Every small step you take to protect your brain is a step toward a brighter, more successful future. Every healthy choice, every moment you take to give your mind the care it deserves builds momentum. Imagine what a year from now could look like if you start today. Think about that. What kind of person could you become? The version of you that's sharp, energized, focused, unstoppable. It's within your reach, but only if you act. So ask yourself, what are you willing to do to protect your mind? Are you ready to step up? The time for change is now. Don't wait another day. Creating lasting change. Here's the truth. Changing habits isn't a quick fix. It's not going to happen overnight. There will be days when you feel like quitting, when the road gets tough, when you're tempted to slip back into your old ways. But here's the deal. Lasting change takes consistency, and consistency is where the power lies. Do you know how an athlete becomes great? Not through one intense workout or one perfect performance. It's through showing up every single day, putting in the work even when they don't feel like it. It's the same with your brain. Every choice you make, whether it's eating better, getting enough sleep, or managing your stress, adds up. Those little steps are what lead to massive transformation. If you stick with it, if you keep pushing forward even when it's hard, the results will come. You'll start to feel your brain working for you, not against you. You'll feel clearer, more focused, more driven. The change will start to show up in your work, your relationships, your entire life. And that's when you'll know that the effort was worth it. Remember, the journey of transformation is like carving a path through a dense forest. It's not easy, but every step you take clears the way for the next. And soon you'll have a clear road ahead. Your brain's future starts now. What you do today is the foundation of your tomorrow. Think about that for a second. The choices you make right now will echo in your future. If you continue to neglect your brain, if you let it be overwhelmed by stress, poor habits, and negative thoughts, you're setting yourself up for struggles down the road. Cognitive decline, burnout, frustration, it's all real, and it can happen if you don't take action. But if you start protecting your brain now, if you commit to making it a priority, you'll be setting yourself up for success, true success. This isn't just about preventing cognitive decline. It's about optimizing your mind for peak performance. It's about creating the life you want to live, a life of joy, fulfillment, and mental clarity in everything you do. Picture your brain as a garden. Right now, you have the opportunity to plant seeds of healthy habits, positive thoughts, and self-care. If you nurture those seeds, if you protect them from the weeds of stress and negative patterns, you'll reap a harvest beyond your imagination. But it all starts today. Your brain's future starts right now. So don't wait. Start protecting your brain today. You owe it to yourself. You owe it to your future. The best version of you is waiting, and it all begins with the choices you make today. Way 1, chronic stress, the hidden dangers, what stress is really doing to your brain. Let me tell you something. Stress isn't just a feeling. It's a silent killer, a force that chips away at your mind, your body, and your potential. You think it's something you can manage with a deep breath or a quick escape? Think again. Stress is a full-on attack on your brain. When you're stressed, your body doesn't just get a little uncomfortable. No, it goes into full survival mode. It starts releasing a cocktail of hormones, including cortisol, that prepare you to fight or flee. That's great when you're facing immediate danger, but when that stress never lets up, when it's chronic, it starts to do real damage. This isn't a one-time problem. It's a slow, steady erosion. Your brain is constantly being bombarded. The longer you're under stress, the more it begins to take a toll. It's like a pressure cooker. Imagine the heat constantly building up inside with nowhere for the steam to escape. Over time, that pressure starts to wear down the structure. You may not feel it at first, but the consequences are real. The longer it goes unchecked, the worse it gets. Understanding the unseen damage. Here's the cold hard truth. Stress doesn't just affect your mood or your physical health. It's changing the very structure of your brain. The damage happens quietly, almost invisibly over time. You don't notice it at first, but it's happening. Cortisol, the stress hormone, can have a profound impact on the brain. Under normal circumstances, cortisol helps us respond to emergencies. It's a protective mechanism, but in excess, it becomes a threat to your mental well-being. Think of it like this. Your brain is a delicate machine. The hippocampus, responsible for memory, is like the storage center. The prefrontal cortex is the control tower, helping you think, make decisions, and regulate your emotions. When you're under constant stress, these areas start to shrink, memory becomes foggy, decision-making becomes harder, emotions become harder to control. It's a gradual process, but it's happening all the same. Let that sink in. The very things that make you who you are, your ability to think clearly, to remember, to manage your emotions, are being damaged by stress. It's not just affecting how you feel in the moment, it's reshaping your mind in ways you can't even see. Cortisol and its destructive power. Cortisol is a double-edged sword. On one hand, it's vital for survival. In small doses, it helps you face a crisis, but when it's constantly flowing through your body, it's like a poison that wears you down. Chronic stress floods your system with cortisol, and instead of helping you rise to challenges, it starts to wear out your defenses. Imagine trying to run a race with a heavy weight tied to your back. The longer you carry that weight, the slower you get, the weaker you feel. That's what stress does to your brain. It starts to hinder your ability to remember things, to stay focused, to regulate your emotions. It doesn't happen overnight, but day by day, it starts stealing from you. Until one day, you find yourself overwhelmed by what should be simple tasks. The cost of this damage? It shows up in missed opportunities, strained relationships, and a life that feels out of control. Long-term consequences of neglecting stress. Habit. 8. Negative thinking and self-doubt. What's the narrative you're telling yourself every day? Let's be real here. Negative thinking and self-doubt are not just bad habits. They are killers of your brain's potential. When you constantly tell yourself you're not good enough or that you're destined to fail, you're literally shrinking the areas of your brain responsible for memory and learning. Your brain listens to the story you tell yourself. If it's a story of negativity, your brain starts to believe it. But here's the empowering truth. You have the power to change that story. Start replacing those negative thoughts with affirmations of strength, resilience, and potential. The more you do it, the more you reinforce positive neural pathways in your brain. Break free from the cycle of negativity. The story you tell yourself will determine the life you live. So make it a story of greatness. How to combat these habits and rebuild your brain, taking control of your stress. Stress doesn't have to rule your life. It doesn't have to hijack your brain, your energy, or your happiness. But here's the truth. You have the power to take control. You are not a victim to your stress. It is not an unavoidable part of life. Stress is an automatic response, but how you respond is completely in your hands. It's easy to feel overwhelmed when life throws challenge after challenge at you, but let me tell you something. You are stronger than your stress. You have the ability to break free from its hold. You can manage your stress even when it feels like it's spiraling out of control. By learning and practicing mindfulness techniques like deep breathing or meditation, by committing to exercise, and by making relaxation a non-negotiable part of your day. The first step is changing your mindset. Instead of allowing stress to build and fester, face it head on, acknowledge it, then make a decision. You will take control. It's not easy, but nothing worth having ever is. When you manage stress, you reclaim your brain's power, and that's when transformation begins. Start today. Do not wait until stress becomes too overwhelming to handle. Take control now before it controls you. Mastering the art of sleep. Sleep is your brain's best friend, yet how many of us treat it like an afterthought? We live in a world that glorifies hustle, grinding, and staying up late, but let me tell you something. Sleep is the ultimate power move. It's the fuel that your brain needs to operate at its highest level. Without it, your mental clarity, your creativity, your focus, they all take a hit. You want to rebuild your brain? Start by prioritizing sleep. Make it a non-negotiable part of your routine. A consistent sleep schedule is not just a luxury, it's a must. Create an environment that promotes rest. Dim the lights, shut off screens, and let your body know that it's time to relax. Avoid stimulants that can disrupt your natural sleep patterns. By giving your brain the sleep it deserves, you give yourself the chance to reset, rejuvenate, and repair every single night. If you're not prioritizing sleep, you're undermining your own progress. Remember, you can't pour from an empty cup. Prioritize sleep and watch how your mind and body transform. Eating for a sharp mind feeds your brain, feeds your success. Nutrition isn't just about looking good or feeling good. It's about fueling your brain for greatness. The foods you eat have the power to either uplift or break down your brain's health. If you want to be sharp, focused, and at the top of your game, you need to be conscious of what you're putting into your body. Think of your brain like a high-performance engine. It needs the best fuel to run smoothly. Healthy fats, proteins, and antioxidant-rich foods are your brain's best friends. Omega-3 fatty acids, found in fish like salmon, help build brain cells and enhance memory. The leafy greens, like spinach, are packed with nutrients that protect your brain from damage. Nutrient-dense foods are not optional. They're necessary for your brain to perform at its best. Make your brain a priority. Start choosing foods that nourish it, and watch how your mental clarity improves. Eating well isn't a short-term fix, it's a long-term investment in your cognitive power. Treat your brain with the respect it deserves. The power of movement. Your brain needs exercise just like your body does. But here's the thing, most people forget that their brain is a muscle too. And just like any muscle, it needs regular exercise to stay sharp, to grow, and to function at its best. Physical activity isn't just about getting in shape, it's about boosting your brain power. When you move your body, you stimulate the release of brain-gut neurotrophic factor, BDNF, a key protein that promotes brain growth and keeps your mind agile. Exercise can reduce stress, increase focus, and improve memory. It's a win-win. You don't have to be a marathon runner or a gym enthusiast to reap the benefits. Even something as simple as walking, stretching, or yoga can make a huge difference. Make movement a part of your daily routine and watch how it transforms your brain's ability to focus, learn, and grow. Your brain deserves this investment. Focus on one thing at a time. Multitasking is a lie. It's a myth that we've been told over and over again. Multitasking only leads to fatigue, stress, and burnout. If you want to maximize your brain's performance, you need to focus on one thing at a time. This is the key. Create blocks of time in which you give your full, undivided attention to a single task. No distractions, no switching back and forth between tasks. This single-tacking approach will reduce mental exhaustion, improve efficiency, and actually boost your ability to concentrate over time. Think about it. When you focus deeply on one task, you tap into your brain's full potential. That's when ideas flow, creativity sparks, and results show. If you're constantly switching gears, you're not only wasting time, you're exhausting your brain. Start focusing on one task at a time and watch how your efficiency and mental clarity skyrocket. Building meaningful relationships. Your connections matter more than you think. We are not meant to be islands. We are social creatures, and the relationships we build have a profound impact on our mental and emotional well-being. The people you surround yourself with can either uplift you or drag you down. Invest in relationships that challenge you, inspire you, and push you to grow. These connections are not just for emotional support, they're critical for cognitive health. Studies show that social engagement strengthens your brain, boosts emotional intelligence, and even helps combat cognitive decline. So, who are you surrounding yourself with? Are they lifting you up or holding you back? Take a hard look at the relationships in your life and decide which ones are worth investing in. The people who support you and challenge you are the ones who will help you grow mentally and emotionally. Build these meaningful connections, and you will find that your brain becomes stronger, more resilient, and more focused. Disconnect to reconnect in a world of constant notifications, emails, and social media updates. Our brains are under a constant barrage of digital noise. But here's the thing, you cannot fully regenerate your brain if you're always plugged in. You need to disconnect in order to reconnect. Schedule time to step away from all digital devices. Take a break from the screens and give your brain the space it needs to rest and recharge. When you disconnect, you allow your brain to catch up, to process, and to refocus. This is essential for maintaining mental clarity, creativity, and overall mental health. It's not about rejecting technology, it's about creating boundaries. Find moments in your day where you can unplug and give your brain the gift of silence. When you do this, you'll notice improvements in your focus, your creativity, and your overall well-being. Give your mind the space to breathe and regenerate, changing your internal dialogue. What you think is what you become. If you constantly tell yourself that you're not good enough, not capable enough, or that success is out of reach, then that becomes your reality. But let me tell you something. You have the power to change that. Reprogram your brain by adopting positive affirmations and practicing gratitude. Shift your mindset from one of defeat to one of growth, resilience, and possibility. You are capable of far more than you realize. But first, you need to believe it. Start telling yourself that you are strong, you are worthy, and you are capable of achieving your dreams. Changing your internal dialogue is not easy, but it is necessary. It takes time, practice, and commitment, but when you change how you talk to yourself, you change how you experience the world. Reprogram your brain to embrace growth, and you'll find that your resilience becomes unstoppable. It's time to take control of your thoughts, and in doing so, take control of your life. Long-term benefits of brain health and cognitive optimization, the road to a sharper mind. Let me tell you something. When you decide to take control of your brain health, you're not just setting yourself up for success today, you're paving the road to a sharper, more resilient mind for the future. But let's be clear, this is not a quick fix. It's not about a sudden transformation. The journey to a sharper mind is a marathon, not a sprint. Think about it. Just like how you build physical strength by consistently working out, brain health is built through consistent habits over time. The good news? Every single small habit you implement will pay off. The more you challenge your mind, protect it, and nourish it, the sharper your thinking becomes. You'll begin to notice it in everything you do. Better decisions, faster thinking, a clarity that makes it easier to move through your day with confidence and purpose. But here's the kicker. It's not about doing one big thing. It's about doing the right things consistently. Little by little, your brain will adapt. You'll start thinking faster, you'll solve problems more efficiently, and your memory will become sharper. And with that sharpness comes the power to unlock doors you didn't even know existed. So every small effort, every action that strengthens your brain is an investment. And guess what? You're going to thank yourself for it in the long run. The power of aging gracefully now. Here's something that a lot of people don't realize. Age is just a number. It doesn't have to define your brain. With the right practices in place, you can maintain and even improve your cognitive function as you grow older. The idea that cognitive decline is an inevitable part of aging, it's a myth. Your brain doesn't have to slow down just because the years go by. In fact, with the right mindset and habits, your brain can become more resilient, more agile, and even sharper with time. Think about someone like Warren Buffett, a man in his 90s who still makes decisions with the precision of a young investor. Or take the example of some of the world's greatest musicians, people like Yo-Yo Ma, who, well into their 60s, still perform at the top of their game. Their secret isn't just their natural talent, it's their commitment to keeping their brains sharp. This is possible for you too. Aging gracefully isn't about accepting decline, it's about pushing against it with every tool at your disposal. You can keep your mind young by challenging it. Keep learning, keep growing, keep nurturing your brain. Your age doesn't determine your potential, your habits do. Enhancing emotional resilience through brain optimization. So why should you care? Because the future of your brain and thus the future of your life is at stake. What you choose to do today directly impacts the way your brain functions tomorrow. Imagine this: every small decision, every habit you build, every choice you make, it's adding up. Whether you're investing in your brain's strength or draining it, there's no neutral ground. The effects might not be immediately obvious, but don't be fooled. The decisions you make today are like seeds. You're planting something that will grow over time. Are you planting something that will nourish your brain, or are you planting something that will strangle its potential? The truth is, you don't get a second chance with your brain. It's not something you can put on pause and come back to later. If you don't protect your brain now, it won't wait for you to realize the consequences. The urgency is real. The choices you make today have a ripple effect on your cognitive health, your success, and your happiness. A wake-up call: are you unknowingly destroying your brain? Here's the hard truth. Many of us are unknowingly destroying our brain's potential. It's not the big, obvious mistakes that are doing the most damage. It's the small, consistent habits that we don't even notice. That extra hour of scrolling before bed, the late night snacks, the constant stress. These little things add up, and before you know it, your brain is struggling to keep up. Are you making these small choices that are silently sabotaging your mental clarity, your focus, your creativity? Most of us don't realize how much power we have over our own brain. But here's the wake-up call. If you don't take action, you'll end up wondering where it all went wrong. And by then, the damage may already be done. But it's not too late. You have the power to change. You have the power to rebuild, to make better choices, to protect and strengthen the most valuable asset you own: your brain. The question is, will you rise to the challenge? Will you choose to take care of your mind so it can carry you to the life you want? The choice is yours. Let's dive into the habits that may be quietly sabotaging your brain's potential and how you can turn them around to unlock the greatness inside you. The 8 dangerous habits that are killing your brain. Habit 1, the unrelenting grip of stress. Let me ask you this: how often do you feel stressed out? Truly overwhelmed by the pressure of life, responsibilities, and endless demands? If the answer is too often, then you're not alone. But here's the truth. Stress isn't just something that makes you feel lousy for a moment. It's a silent, insidious force that is literally shrinking your brain. Stress releases a hormone called cortisol, and while cortisol has its purpose in short bursts, chronic stress pumps out that hormone relentlessly. Over time, cortisol destroys neurons, damages brain structure, and slows down cognitive function. Your ability to focus, make decisions, and think clearly is being hijacked. And here's the kicker: if stress is your constant companion, it's not just affecting your mind, it's eroding your potential. You're sabotaging your ability to thrive, to evolve, and to reach your highest capacity. So what can you do? You need to control it before it controls you. Start with small changes. Recognize stress, challenge it, and find healthier ways to manage it. Your brain will thank you. Habit 2, neglecting quality sleep. Let me tell you something. You cannot cheat sleep. Sleep isn't just a luxury or something you fit in when you have time. Sleep is when your brain does its most important work. It's when your brain detoxes, repairs itself, and gets ready for the day ahead. If you're sacrificing sleep to work harder, hustle longer, or stay up scrolling through your phone, you're making a huge mistake. And here's why. Lack of sleep is not just about feeling tired the next day. Chronic sleep deprivation leads to cognitive decline. Your ability to think clearly diminishes, your memory weakens, your decision-making suffers. Worst of all, over time, this can result in irreversible damage. So I ask you, what's more important, the extra hour of work or the clarity and focus your brain needs to succeed? Sleep is the foundation of brain health. Without it, nothing else will function at its best. Treat sleep as non-negotiable. Your brain cannot perform without it. Habit 3, poor nutrition choices. Let me ask you, what are you feeding your brain? What you put in your body directly affects how your brain works. You've heard the saying, you are what you eat. Well, it's true. If you're feeding your brain junk, sugar, processed foods, and unhealthy fats, you're not just sabotaging your body, you're sabotaging your mind. When you eat foods high in sugar and low in nutrients, you're inflaming your brain. Inflammation reduces memory capacity and over time accelerates aging in the brain. But when you give your brain the right fuel, healthy fats, antioxidants, lean proteins, you're giving it the ability to function at its highest level. Your brain can process, focus, and retain information far better. So ask yourself, are you fueling your brain for success or setting it up for failure? What you put into your body matters, so make it count. Habit 4, sedentary lifestyle, the brain's silent killer. I want you to think about this for a second. How often do you move? We live in a world where many of us are sitting for hours at a time and we think nothing of it. But here's the reality. This sedentary lifestyle isn't just bad for your body, it's bad for your brain. Your brain thrives on movement. Physical activity pumps blood to your brain, nourishing it with oxygen and nutrients. It promotes the growth and regeneration of brain cells, helping your mind stay sharp and focused. Without regular exercise, your brain stagnates. You may think you can sit still and still be productive, but in reality, your brain starts to wither. Movement is life, and if you're not moving enough, you're missing out on the chance to keep your brain at its peak performance. So get up, get active, and watch how your brain becomes sharper, more energized, and ready to take on the world. Habit 5, chronic multitasking. How often do you find yourself trying to do 5 things at once? You think you're being productive, right? You're getting stuff done. But here's the truth. Multitasking is actually making you less productive. It's damaging your brain. Every time you switch between tasks, your brain goes through a mental shift, and that takes energy. It exhausts your resources, leading to cognitive overload. The result? You lose focus, your performance suffers, and you feel drained. Multitasking might seem efficient, but in reality, it's the opposite. It's like trying to run multiple apps on a phone without closing them. Everything slows down. Focus on one task at a time. You'll get more done in less time, and your brain will thank you. Habit 6, social isolation and lack of connection. Let me ask you, how connected do you feel to others? We are social creatures. Human connection is a powerful force. It's what keeps our brains sharp and adaptable. Yet in today's world, more and more people are isolating themselves, thinking they can go it alone. But isolation isn't just emotionally painful, it's deadly for your brain. Without social interaction, your brain doesn't get the stimulation it needs to grow. You stagnate, your mind dulls, you lose the sharpness, the creativity, and the problem-solving ability you need to thrive. Human connection is the antidote to stagnation. So don't shut yourself off. Reach out, build connections, let your brain be inspired, challenged, and engaged by others. The more connected you are, the stronger and more vibrant your mind will be. Habit 7, excessive screen time. How much time do you spend staring at a screen each day? Whether it's your phone, computer, or TV, it's likely a lot. Screens are everywhere, and while they serve a purpose, they also come with a hidden danger. Excessive screen time is slowly draining your brain's energy. The constant bombardment of digital stimuli lowers attention spans, damages memory, and leaves you mentally exhausted. Your brain is constantly processing inputs, and over time, that mental fatigue takes a toll. But here's the good news. You can take control, you can limit your screen time, disconnect, and give your brain the space it needs to rest and recover. Take time away from your devices. When you do, you'll find that your focus, creativity, and mental clarity return. Your brain will thank you. The power of action. Don't wait for tomorrow now. Here's where it gets real. We talk about these habits, and it's easy to feel inspired for a moment, but inspiration alone won't change anything. I'm not here to tell you to wait for the perfect time. The perfect time doesn't exist. It's not tomorrow. It's not next week. It's not when you feel more ready. No, it starts right now, right here. You don't need to break all the habits overnight, but you need to start somewhere. Start with one small change today, one small habit that you can shift. You don't have to see the whole staircase. You just need to take the first step. The power of action is immeasurable. The moment you act, the moment you decide that today is the day you start to change, your brain starts to rewire itself. You're taking control, you're creating momentum, you're telling your brain, I am in charge. And trust me, your brain will thank you for it. The long-term vision, a brain that thrives, not just survives. I want you to close your eyes for a second and think about the future. The version of you that doesn't just survive, but thrives. Imagine waking up every day with a mind that is sharp, focused, and clear, a mind that can tackle challenges head on, that remembers what's important, that doesn't get overwhelmed by distractions. Now, picture how that impacts everything in your life, your work, your relationships, your ability to be present and effective. The world changes when your brain is firing on all cylinders. This isn't just about getting through the day, it's about thriving. You deserve a mind that thrives, a mind that is healthy, that performs at its best, and that serves you in ways you never thought possible. But this won't happen by chance. This happens because you commit. You commit to change, to growth, to taking control of your habits. The long-term rewards, a brain that stays strong, agile, and ready for anything. You won't just be surviving, you'll be living. Final words, the choice is yours. Let me leave you with this. The power is in your hands. Every choice, every habit, every action you take today shapes the future you will live tomorrow. The path to a stronger, healthier brain starts with you. It doesn't start with a perfect plan or an ideal moment. It starts with the decision to take action, to break free from the habits that are keeping you stuck, and to step into the version of yourself that you were always meant to be. The choice is yours. You can either continue down the path of comfort, familiarity, and mediocrity, or you can choose greatness. You can choose to show up for your mind, to take control of your life, and to create a brain that not only survives but thrives. So I ask you, what are you waiting for? You already have everything you need to begin. The time is now. Don't wait for tomorrow. Start today. Introduction to the brain's power and vulnerability, unlocking the infinite potential of your brain. Your brain is more powerful than you realize. Every thought, every action, every decision starts in the most complex organ in your body, the brain. This is not just any organ, it's the powerhouse of your existence. Your brain is capable of unimaginable feats. The ideas that change the world, the breakthroughs that shape history, they all come from this organ. And guess what? You possess that same power. You have the same tool to reshape your destiny, push beyond the limits, and achieve what you thought was impossible. Think about it. How many times have we been told we're limited by our circumstances, by our upbringing, our lack of resources, our surroundings? These are all external factors, but your brain, your mind, that's the one thing that no one can take away from you. When you unlock your brain's potential, you become limitless. It's not just about thinking big. It's about acting big. Every idea you have, every dream you chase, it all starts right here. But here's the truth. Your brain doesn't work by chance. It works by intention. The power is in your hands. You just need to believe in its potential and use it wisely. And once you start unlocking that power, you'll see your life transform in ways you never thought possible. The unseen fragility of your brain. But here's the flip side. The brain isn't invincible. We like to talk about its potential, but we don't often address its vulnerability. The brain is a delicate machine. It can be worn down, it can be harmed, and you may not even notice it until it's too late. Each day, your brain is under constant assault. The choices you make, whether it's lack of sleep, excessive stress, poor nutrition, or neglecting your mental health, slowly chip away at its resilience. You see, your brain is like a fine-tuned instrument, and every time you make a poor decision, you're playing out of tune. If you don't treat it with the care it deserves, you'll find yourself struggling with concentration, creativity, and overall mental clarity. And that's not something you can just undo with a magic pill or a quick fix. It's a slow, often invisible deterioration that piles up over time. So the question is, are you taking care of your brain? Are you giving it what it needs to remain sharp, focused, and strong? Or are you knowingly or unknowingly sabotaging your own success? The power of habit, the silent shaper of your brain. Let's talk about habits, the ones you don't even think twice about. The way you wake up, the way you spend your mornings, the way you handle stress. These aren't just small actions, they're shaping the very foundation of your mental strength. Every habit you have is either reinforcing your brain's power or slowly eroding it. Think about the power of a small habit, something as simple as reading for 10 minutes a day or taking a walk in the morning. These seemingly small actions done consistently can build up your cognitive abilities, improve your focus, and boost your creativity. But on the other hand, habits like procrastination, negativity, or mindlessly scrolling through social media, They chip away at your brain's capacity to thrive. You might not notice it at first, but over time, your brain adapts to whatever habits you've built. If your habits are healthy and enriching, you'll see your brain perform at its peak. But if your habits are destructive, your brain will follow suit. The power to shape your mental strength is right in your hands, and it starts with the choices you make every day. Why you should care. The urgency of protecting your brain. Now let's put this all together. Building stronger habits for a healthier brain isn't about drastic overnight changes. It's about consistency, exercise, and mental fitness. Small actions done consistently over time that lead to massive transformation. If you commit to taking care of your brain, if you make the effort to strengthen it, your future self will thank you. Remember, your brain is your greatest asset. Treat it with the care it deserves. Build habits that will sharpen it, strengthen it, and keep it firing on all cylinders. Your mind is your power. It's time to make it unstoppable. The choice is yours. Will you show up consistently? Will you invest in your brain's health? Will you push yourself to think, learn, and grow? Because if you do, there's no limit to what you can achieve. Now, go out and start building those habits. Your healthier brain awaits. Rain deserves Vev. The power of mindset, rewiring your brain for success, shifting your beliefs, the foundation of real change. Let me tell you something. Your mind is more powerful than you realize. It's not just a tool. It's the very engine that drives your success, your growth, and your future. But here's the catch. It doesn't work like a machine. It's malleable. It's adaptable. It responds to what you believe. Think about this. How often have you told yourself that something was impossible, only to find out later that it was possible all along? The only thing that stood in your way was your mindset. The beliefs you hold about yourself shape every action you take. If you believe you can't, guess what? You won't. If you believe you are stuck, you will stay stuck. But if you believe you can change, you can grow, you can conquer, you will. I want you to hear this loud and clear. Your brain can grow and adapt, but it needs you to believe in it. The neurons in your brain are waiting for you to challenge them, to push them into new ways of thinking. But you've got to rewire the way you see the world and yourself. It starts with shifting your beliefs. What you think, you become. It's not just a catchy quote, it's science. Your mind operates based on the beliefs you feed it. If you've been telling yourself for years that you're not good enough, guess what your brain is going to keep believing? Not good enough. But if you start to believe that you are capable, strong, worthy of success, your brain will start to change its programming. It will start to look for evidence to support that belief. So, how do you do this? Start small. Start with your thoughts. Catch yourself when you think negatively, when you doubt yourself. And instead of accepting that thought, challenge it. Replace it with something empowering. I can do this. I am worthy. I am capable. That shift will begin to create new neural pathways, and over time, those pathways will grow stronger. You've got to believe in the possibility before you can achieve it. Don't wait for proof. Create the proof by changing your mindset first. Overcoming setbacks, resilience is key. Let me ask you a question. What happens when do you stay down? Do you let that one failure define who you are? No, you get back up, you dust yourself off, you keep moving forward. Because let's be real, progress is never a straight line. Success is built on setbacks. Every successful person you admire has failed countless times. The difference between them and someone who gives up is simple: resilience. I want you to understand this, and I want you to internalize it. Failure is not the opposite of success. It's part of the journey. The only true failure is quitting. If you've failed, it means you're still in the game. It means you're still learning, still growing. When you hit a wall, when you face a setback, it doesn't mean you're done. It means you're being tested. The question is, what will you do next? Will you let that setback defeat you, or will you use it as fuel to push harder, to become better? Think about some of the world's greatest achievers. Thomas Edison failed thousands of times before inventing the light bulb. Oprah Winfrey was fired from her first television job. Michael Jordan was cut from his high school basketball team. They didn't give up when life knocked them down. They kept going. They turned their setbacks into setups for comebacks. And you can do the same. When you face challenges, know that they are part of the process. Every successful person has been through hard times, has failed, and has struggled. What makes them different is that they refuse to let those struggles define them. They use them as stepping stones. So remember this, setbacks are not permanent. They're just a test. Pass the test and you'll keep moving forward. Visualization, reprogramming your brain for success. I want to share a powerful tool with you. Visualization, your mind doesn't know the difference between what's real and what you vividly imagine. When you visualize yourself achieving your goals, your brain starts to act as if it's already happening. It rewires itself to create the conditions for your success. Imagine this. You're standing at the edge of a mountain, looking out over a breathtaking view. You can feel the wind on your face. You hear the sound of your breath. You take a deep inhale and prepare to take the next step toward the summit. Now, in that moment, you're not just imagining the mountain. You're imagining the victory, the accomplishment, the journey you've been on. The process feels real, even though it's just a vision. This is how your brain works. By visualizing success, you're training your mind to recognize it as possible, to see it as inevitable. But here's the catch. You've got to make it vivid. The more specific, the more detailed, the more real it feels, the more powerful the impact on your mind. Let me give you an exercise. Close your eyes for a moment and think about your goal. See yourself achieving it. Imagine every detail, the emotions you'll feel, the people around you, the way you'll carry yourself. See it, feel it, experience it in your mind. Do this every day, and your brain will start to believe it's already on the path to that success. The power of visualization is that it creates mental pathways that help you recognize opportunities, make better decisions, and push through obstacles. You're not just wishing for success, you're programming your mind for it. So ask yourself, what do you see when you close your eyes? Are you seeing the challenges, the obstacles, or are you seeing your victory? Start visualizing your success today, and your brain will begin to create the conditions to make it a reality. Remember, see it in your mind first, and your brain will work overtime to make it happen in the real world. Conclusion. Reclaim your mind, reclaim your life recap. The 8 habits you must break. Let me tell you something. Your brain is the most powerful tool you will ever possess. It shapes your thoughts, your actions, your emotions, and ultimately your life. But here's the hard truth. You've been feeding it habits that are not helping it, not serving it, and in fact, they're holding you back. We've discussed those 8 habits, the ones that do more harm than good, the endless scrolling, the constant distractions, the negativity, the procrastination. These habits are robbing your focus, stealing your energy, and destroying your potential. They may feel comfortable, even familiar, but comfort is the enemy of growth. I need you to understand this. If you don't, habit 3, poor diet, fueling your brain to fail. What you put into your body directly affects your brain. Think about your brain like a high-performance car. If you put in bad fuel, how do you expect it to run smoothly? A poor diet, especially one that lacks key nutrients, leads to poor brain health. Your brain needs omega-3s, vitamins, antioxidants, and minerals to function at its peak. Without them, you're setting yourself up for a mental breakdown. Think about the impact of a diet full of processed foods, sugars, and unhealthy fats. It's like trying to run your car on old, dirty oil. It will eventually break down. Instead, fuel your brain with what it craves. Leafy greens, nuts, berries, and fatty fish like salmon. These foods don't just feed your body, they feed your mind. And here's the kicker. The change doesn't have to be dramatic. Start small, swap a sugary snack for a handful of almonds. Drink more water, add a salad to your lunch. These little changes, when practiced consistently, will give your brain the fuel it needs to thrive. Habit 4, sedentary lifestyle. Your brain needs movement. You might be surprised to hear this, but your brain needs movement. If you're sitting still for hours on end, your brain starts to slow down. A sedentary lifestyle leads to brain fog, poor memory, and a decline in cognitive abilities. Why? Because when you're not moving, your brain is not getting the oxygen and nutrients it needs to function. Exercise isn't just about building muscles or losing weight. It's about fueling your brain. When you get your blood pumping through your body, your brain gets the boost it needs to perform at its best. It's science. Physical activity improves brain function, boosts your mood, and sharpens your memory. So here's the challenge. Move. Take the stairs instead of the elevator. Go for a walk on your lunch break. Get your heart rate up. Your brain will thank you. Habit 5, toxic relationships. The drain on your brain's energy. You don't need me to tell you this. Not all relationships are good for you. In fact, some relationships are poisoning your brain. The negativity, the drama, the constant drain on your energy. These people are slowly wearing you down. And it's not just your emotions they're harming your brain too. Think about the mental toll negative relationships take. They cause stress, they cause worry, they cause you to doubt yourself. And all of that can damage your brain's health. The truth is, your brain needs positive, uplifting people around it to stay healthy. Surround yourself with people who encourage you, who inspire you, and who help you grow. If you don't have those people in your life, it's time to reevaluate who you're spending your time with. Your brain's well-being is just as important as your physical health, and toxic relationships are a serious threat to that. Take a stand. Let go of the people who drag you down. Protect your energy. Protect your brain. Habit 6, overstimulation. The dangers of constant noise and distraction. Here's a powerful truth. You don't need to be plugged in 24/7. Constant notifications, social media, the noise of the world. It all has one thing in common. It's overwhelming your brain. The result? Reduced concentration, memory problems, and increased mental fatigue. Your brain is in constant fight or flight mode, unable to focus or think clearly. You need quiet, you need focus, you need space to think and recharge. The solution? Turn off the distractions. Start by limiting your screen time. Put your phone down during meals and try creating tech-free zones in your life. When you give your brain time to process and think deeply, you're strengthening its ability to focus and learn. Habit 7, neglecting mental exercise, letting your brain go dormant. Just like your body, your brain needs exercise. If you don't challenge it, it becomes dormant. Your brain craves new challenges, puzzles, and opportunities to learn. Without it, cognitive decline sets in. So, ask yourself, are you stimulating your brain daily, or are you letting it slip into autopilot mode? Stimulate your brain with reading, problem solving, and lifelong learning. Play a game of chess, try a new language, solve puzzles. Your brain will grow stronger, more agile, and more capable the more you engage it. Keep it sharp. Don't let it get rusty. Habit 8, negative thinking, poisoning your mind. Your thoughts are powerful. They shape your reality and ultimately your brain's health. Negative thinking, self-doubt, constant worry, fear poisons your mind. It rewires your brain to expect failure, to believe in limitations, and to stay stuck. But here's the truth. You get to choose your thoughts. You can train your brain to focus on possibility, on growth, on the positive. Every time a negative thought enters your mind, replace it with a positive one. It might feel unnatural at first, but with time, this shift will transform your brain and your life. Your thoughts shape your brain. Choose them wisely. Breaking the chains, how to reverse the damage. Recognizing the problem, the first step to reclaiming your brain. Let me tell you something, awareness is power, and it all begins with seeing the problem. Because until you see it, how can you ever fix it? The first step to reclaiming control over your life, your mind, and your well-being is recognizing the damage. Stress, burnout, distractions. These things don't just hurt your body, they affect the very thing that drives your entire existence, your brain. But here's the good news, as soon as you acknowledge it, you're already ahead of the game. You have the power to change it. Too many people go through life day after day with the pressure mounting, the anxiety building, and they don't even realize it. They live in a fog, unaware of how deeply their mental health is being affected. But you're here and you're listening. That's the first step. You're already ahead. Think about it. When you wake up in the morning, what's the first thing you do? Do you jump right into the chaos? Do you allow the stress of the world to claim your peace before you even begin your day? Or do you stop and take a moment to recognize where your mind is? Do you reflect on how you're truly feeling, or do you push it aside to keep moving forward? Here's the truth. Recognizing the problem is not just about seeing the stress or the overwhelm. It's about being honest with yourself about how much it's affecting you. Once you see it, you can fix it. The chains that have held you back are only powerful because you haven't yet realized you hold the key to unlock them. Now that you know, you can take control. Turning around stress, master it. Don't let it master you. Now that you've recognized it, it's time to take action. Stress doesn't need to rule your life, doesn't need to consume your thoughts, your actions, or your future. Control it before it controls you. Stress is a part of life, but it's how you respond to it that makes all the difference. We all face moments of pressure, moments where the weight of the world seems too much to bear, but stress doesn't have to own you. The moment you decide to master it, you begin to reclaim your life. Let's talk about how. First, it's about creating habits that help you stay grounded. Mindfulness, meditation, and breathing exercises, they're not just trends, they're tools. Tools that, when used consistently, begin to rewire your brain. You see, stress thrives on chaos. It feeds on your inability to focus and take control. But when you introduce mindfulness, just a few moments each day to pause, breathe, and reflect, you begin to starve that chaos. Now, I know what you're thinking. I'm too busy for that. I don't have time. Well, let me ask you this. Do you have time to feel overwhelmed? Do you have time to be paralyzed by anxiety? No? Then make the time. Make the time to take 5 minutes in the morning, 5 minutes at lunch, 5 minutes before bed, to just breathe. Close your eyes, focus on your breath, and reset your mind. These practices are not a one-time fix. Stress management isn't something you do once a week and expect it to work miracles. It's a daily practice. You build it into your routine, just like brushing your teeth or eating. Over time, you will notice that stress no longer has the same power over you. It will still come, but it won't control you. Remember, stress is a reaction, not a command. You have the power to react with calm, with clarity, and with control. Well, you are the master, not the stress. Sleep, reclaiming the rest your brain deserves. We live in a world that glorifies being busy, doesn't it? We wear exhaustion like a badge of honor. But let me tell you something, rest is not a luxury, it's a necessity. If you're not getting the sleep your brain needs, you're doing yourself a disservice. You're trying to function at your best when your mind hasn't had the chance to recharge. Think of it like this. You wouldn't expect your phone to work at full capacity without charging, right? So why would you expect the same from your brain? Sleep is not just about closing your eyes for a few hours. It's about quality rest. It's about giving your brain the opportunity to recover, repair, and refresh. This is when your brain processes information, strengthens memories, and clears out the mental clutter from the day. If you're cutting corners on sleep, you're cutting corners on your potential. Let's talk about how to get that sleep. Start by creating a bedtime routine. Set the tone for the night. Put away your devices. I know, it's hard to disconnect, but trust me, your brain will thank you. Create an environment that promotes rest, a cool, dark, quiet room. If you have to invest in blackout curtains or a white noise machine, do whatever it takes to optimize your sleep conditions. The key here is consistency. Go to bed at the same time each night. Your brain thrives on routine. The more you stick to a schedule, the more your body will recognize it, and the easier it will be to fall asleep and stay asleep. Listen, I know the demands of life are real, but no matter how much you think you have to do, no matter how much you think you need to push through, you cannot neglect the most basic need of all. You can't operate at your best when you're running on empty. So reclaim your sleep, your BIV. Building stronger habits for a healthier brain, consistency is key. Why small, steady changes lead to big results. Let me tell you something. Success isn't built overnight. It's the small, consistent steps you take day after day that shape your future. I want you to understand this. Your brain is no different. It doesn't change in an instant. It's the little habits you build, the steady progress you make that compound over time to create massive results. Think about it. If you want to build a muscle, you don't show up at the gym one time and expect to walk out a champion. No, you show up day after day, repeating the same actions, each one adding a little more strength. That's how your brain works too. It's the small wins, reading a chapter, practicing mindfulness for 5 minutes, choosing a healthy snack instead of junk food. That will accumulate and eventually transform the way you think, react, and feel. But here's the catch. Most people want instant results. They want to see change overnight. And when it doesn't happen, they give up. You can't afford that kind of thinking. Instead, you must embrace consistency. Commit to showing up no matter how small the action feels, because let me tell you, over time, those small actions will lead to the greatest rewards. If you're consistent, you will outpace everyone else who's waiting for that one big breakthrough. So ask yourself, what's one small thing you can do today that will help you take that first step toward a healthier brain? It's time to stop looking for shortcuts. It's time to start building the foundation of your future, brick by brick, day by day. Exercise, the brain-boosting workout you need now. Let's talk about exercise. You already know it keeps your body in shape, but do you realize how crucial it is for your brain too? Exercise is like a reset button for your mind. It floods your brain with oxygen, increases blood flow, and releases those feel-good chemicals, dopamine, serotonin, endorphins, that make you feel alive. This isn't just about looking good in the mirror, it's about feeling sharp, focused, and mentally strong. But here's the kicker. Exercise doesn't have to mean hitting the gym for an hour a day. No, it's about movement. Just walking for 30 minutes a day can make a huge difference. Take a brisk walk around your neighborhood, breathe in the fresh air, and let your mind clear. Yoga, too, offers a unique way to exercise both your body and mind, focusing on flexibility, balance, and relaxation. Or maybe you enjoy resistance training, lifting weights to build strength. Every form of exercise has a positive impact on your brain's health. I want you to start seeing exercise not just as a physical activity, but as an investment in your mental health. Every time you move your body, you are boosting your brain's power. Imagine how much clearer, sharper, and more resilient you'll be if you make exercise a non-negotiable part of your day. You wouldn't skip meals, so don't skip this. Your brain deserves it. Your mental sharpness deserves it. And you deserve it. Mental fitness, training your brain like a muscle, just like your body, your brain needs regular workouts. It's not enough to exercise your muscles. You need to exercise your mind. You can't expect to strengthen your cognitive abilities by sitting around and letting your mind become stagnant. This is where mental fitness comes in. I'm not talking about the occasional crossword puzzle. No, I'm talking about training your brain like a muscle, challenging it with new and complex tasks, stretching its limits. You need to engage in activities that make your mind work, learning new skills, practicing critical thinking, solving problems that push you outside of your comfort zone. The more you do this, the more you build mental resilience, the more agile your brain becomes. Think about how much easier life gets when your mind is sharp. You'll be able to solve problems faster, remember important details, and stay focused in the face of distraction. You'll find that you're more creative, more adaptable, and better equipped to handle whatever life throws at you. But here's the truth. If you don't challenge your mind, it will become complacent. It will slow down. And when it does, you'll find yourself struggling to keep up. So I challenge you, don't let your brain go into autopilot. Treat it like any other muscle that needs regular training. Push it, stretch it, make it work harder. The more you invest in your mental fitness, the more powerful and effective your brain will become. So what's one mental exercise you can do today to get your brain in shape? Could you learn a new language, start solving puzzles, or take on a new hobby that challenges you intellectually? The possibilities are endless, but the key is this: keep your brain moving forward every single day. The truth you don't want to hear, let me tell you something. You're not just wasting your time. You're not just procrastinating. You're doing something far worse. You're slowly killing your brain. Yes, you heard me right. Every moment you delay, every hour you waste, every unhealthy habit you indulge in, you're not just setting yourself back, you're deteriorating the most valuable asset you have, your mind. I know this isn't easy to hear, but I need you to face the truth head on, because only then can you start to turn things around. It's time for us to stop hiding behind excuses, stop brushing things under the rug, and face the reality that we are the ones who have the power to either nurture or destroy our minds. If you want to thrive, if you want to be sharp, if you want to keep your edge, you need to take control. Relatable connection. Have you felt it? Let's get real for a second. How many of you have felt like your mind isn't as sharp as it used to be? Or maybe you've noticed yourself forgetting things more often. Maybe you've even accepted it as normal, just part of getting older or dealing with life. But I'm here to tell you something you might not want to hear. This isn't normal. It's not just a part of life. It's a sign that something is wrong. You don't have to feel like your mind is slipping away. The brain is designed to stay sharp, to stay resilient, to keep firing on all cylinders if you give it what it needs. I've seen it all too many times. People who think this is just how life goes. You start forgetting things, feeling disconnected, stressed, overwhelmed, and you just accept it. But let me ask you this. Have you ever wondered why some people stay sharp, energized, and mentally clear for decades while others seem to lose that edge? It's not magic. It's not luck. It's the habits they choose to adopt every single day. Setting the stage, it's time to take action today. We're going to uncover something crucial. The 8 habits that are slowly but surely destroying your brain. But here's the good news. You don't have to keep living like this. You don't have to just accept mental fog, stress, or forgetfulness as your new normal. The power to reclaim your sharpness is in your hands. But it won't happen by wishing for it, hoping for it, or waiting for it to magically change. It happens by making small, deliberate changes. It happens by adopting new habits. And that starts right now. So buckle up. The road ahead is going to require some effort, but trust me when I say this, what you gain from taking action will change the course of your life. Today, we stop the slow destruction and start the journey of rebuilding the brain that will carry you through to greatness. Are you ready to take control? Let's dive in. The hidden culprits, 8 habits that are destroying your brain. Habit 1, chronic stress, the silent brain destroyer. Let me tell you something. Stress is not just something that makes you feel overwhelmed. It's something that can slowly destroy you from the inside out. Chronic stress is like slow poison. It quietly erodes your brain's foundation over time, damaging your memory, your ability to focus, and even your overall cognitive function. You might think it's just part of life, something you can manage, but the truth is, the longer you let stress control you, the more it takes away. We all face challenges, but how we respond to them is what matters. Stress shrinks your brain's ability to perform, especially in the areas of memory and learning. Have you ever noticed that when you're stressed, your ability to focus seems to vanish? That's because stress messes with your brain's wiring. But here's the good news. You can fight back. You can't avoid stress completely, but you can learn to manage it. Start with something simple, deep breathing. Pause and take a few slow, deliberate breaths. It's powerful. Or practice mindfulness. By staying in the present moment, you stop the cycle of anxious thoughts that drain your energy. And time management, it's essential. Don't let your to-do list control you. Control it. Take a deep breath, make a plan, and tackle one task at a time. This is how you take back control of your mind. Habit 2, lack of sleep, the brain's worst enemy. Here's the truth. Every night you skip sleep, you're trading short-term relief for long-term damage. Sleep isn't just a luxury, it's a necessary. Without it, your brain starts to break down. Poor sleep leads to poor decisions, weakens your memory, and accelerates cognitive decline. You might think you can power through with a few hours here and there, but your brain doesn't work like that. It needs rest to regenerate, to recharge, and to function properly. Think about this. When you're sleep deprived, your brain becomes a foggy mess. You can't think clearly, you forget simple things, and you make decisions you regret. The impact is real. It's not just about feeling tired. It's about how sleep deprivation rewires your brain, causing damage you can't see immediately but will pay for later. So what can you do? You need to treat sleep like the precious resource it is. Set a bedtime, stick to it, and avoid the distractions that pull you in late at night. Create a sleep-friendly environment, cool, dark, and quiet. Your brain needs a solid 7 to 9 hours of sleep to function at its best. Invest in your sleep and you'll invest in your future.